If you truly want to live a longer, healthier life, this is one of the most important conversations you will ever listen to, because the quality of your life tomorrow is being decided by what you eat today. Every single bite you take is either building your body or slowly breaking it down, and most people are eating on autopilot without realizing the long-term damage or the powerful healing potential sitting right on their plate. Longevity is not just about adding years to your life, it is about adding life to your years, and food plays a far bigger role in that process than most people are ever taught. Around the world, the longest living populations share one powerful habit in common: they consistently eat foods that nourish their cells, reduce inflammation, support their organs, balance their hormones, and protect their brain. These foods are not expensive miracles or secret supplements, they are real, natural foods that work with your biology instead of against it. When we talk about the best foods for a long and healthy life, we are really talking about foods that support your heart, stabilize your blood sugar, strengthen your immune system, protect your gut, and keep your mind sharp as you age. Chronic diseases like diabetes, heart disease, obesity, and even depression do not appear overnight. They are built slowly through years of poor nutrition, stress, and lifestyle choices. The good news is that the opposite is also true. Healing and prevention happen gradually when you consistently choose foods that lower oxidative stress, reduce chronic inflammation, and provide your body with the nutrients it needs to repair itself. This is why what you are about to hear matters so much, because these foods are not about short-term weight loss or trends, they are about building a body that can carry you strongly into old age. One of the most powerful foundations of longevity nutrition is vegetables, especially leafy greens. Foods like spinach, kale, arugula, and Swiss chard are packed with vitamins, minerals, antioxidants, and plant compounds that protect your cells from damage. These greens support heart health by improving blood vessel function, they help regulate blood pressure, and they provide magnesium and potassium that your muscles and nerves depend on. People who eat leafy greens regularly tend to have better cognitive function as they age, partly because these foods support blood flow to the brain and reduce inflammation. Adding a large portion of greens to your daily meals is one of the simplest and most effective habits you can build for long-term health. Cruciferous vegetables such as broccoli, cauliflower, cabbage, and Brussels sprouts are another cornerstone of a longevity-focused diet. These vegetables contain compounds that support your liver's natural detoxification processes, helping your body safely eliminate toxins and excess hormones. They are also strongly linked to a lower risk of cancer because they help protect DNA from damage. Beyond that, cruciferous vegetables support gut health by feeding beneficial bacteria, which plays a huge role in immunity, mood regulation, and metabolic health. When your gut is healthy, your entire body functions more efficiently, from digestion to mental clarity. Healthy fats are another critical piece of the longevity puzzle, and this is where many people get confused. Not all fats are harmful. In fact, some fats are essential for survival and long-term wellness. Extra virgin olive oil, for example, is one of the most studied longevity foods in the world. It is a staple of Mediterranean diets, which are consistently associated with longer life and lower rates of heart disease. Olive oil contains powerful anti-inflammatory compounds that protect the heart, improve cholesterol balance, and support brain health. Using olive oil as your primary cooking and dressing fat is a simple shift that can have a profound impact over decades. Nuts and seeds also play a powerful role in promoting longevity. Almonds, walnuts, chia seeds, flax seeds, and pumpkin seeds provide healthy fats, fiber, and plant-based protein that support heart health and blood sugar stability. Regular consumption of nuts has been linked to lower rates of cardiovascular disease and improved metabolic health. Walnuts, in particular, contain omega-3 fatty acids that support brain function and reduce inflammation. Seeds like flax and chia provide fiber that feeds your gut microbiome and helps regulate digestion, which is essential for nutrient absorption and immune resilience. When it comes to protein, quality matters far more than quantity. Legumes such as lentils, chickpeas, black beans, and kidney beans are among the most powerful longevity foods available. They provide plant-based protein, complex carbohydrates, and fiber that help stabilize blood sugar and support heart health. Populations that regularly consume legumes tend to have lower rates of obesity and type 2 diabetes. These foods digest slowly, keeping you full longer and reducing unhealthy cravings. They also support healthy cholesterol levels and provide essential minerals like iron and magnesium. Fish, especially fatty fish like salmon, sardines, and mackerel, is another key food group associated with long life. These fish are rich in omega-3 fatty acids, which are essential for heart health, brain function, and inflammation control. Omega-3s help reduce the risk of heart attacks, support cognitive health as you age, and play a role in mental well-being by supporting neurotransmitter balance. Including fatty fish a few times a week can significantly improve cardiovascular markers and support long-term brain health. Fruits also play an important role in longevity, especially berries. Blueberries, strawberries, raspberries, and blackberries are packed with antioxidants that protect your cells from oxidative stress. These compounds help slow down the aging process at a cellular level and support brain function, memory, and learning. Berries also have a low glycemic impact compared to many other fruits, making them an excellent choice for blood sugar control. Regular consumption of berries has been linked to a lower risk of heart disease and improved insulin sensitivity. Whole grains deserve attention as well, especially when they replace refined carbohydrates. Foods like oats, quinoa, brown rice, and barley provide fiber that supports digestion, feeds beneficial gut bacteria, and helps regulate cholesterol levels. Oats, in particular, contain beta-glucan, a type of fiber known to support heart health and improve blood sugar control. Whole grains provide sustained energy and essential nutrients that refined grains simply do not offer. Fermented foods are another powerful yet often overlooked component of a long and healthy life. Yogurt with live cultures, kefir, sauerkraut, kimchi, and fermented vegetables support a healthy gut microbiome. Your gut bacteria influence everything from digestion and immunity to mood and mental clarity. A balanced microbiome helps reduce inflammation, improve nutrient absorption, and protect against infections. Including fermented foods regularly can strengthen your digestive system and support overall resilience. Hydration also plays a silent but crucial role in longevity. While water itself is not a food, foods with high water content such as cucumbers, watermelon, oranges, and zucchini support hydration while providing vitamins and antioxidants. Proper hydration supports kidney function, circulation, digestion, and cognitive performance. Many people confuse thirst with hunger, leading to overeating and metabolic stress over time. Spices and herbs may seem small, but their impact on long-term health is significant. Turmeric, garlic, ginger, cinnamon, and oregano contain powerful anti-inflammatory and antioxidant compounds. Garlic supports heart health and immune function, turmeric helps reduce chronic inflammation, and cinnamon supports blood sugar regulation. Using herbs and spices regularly not only improves flavor but also adds layers of protection against chronic disease. As you listen to this, it is important to understand that longevity nutrition is not about perfection. It is about consistency. You do not need to eat every healthy food every day, but you do need to build patterns that support your body instead of constantly stressing it. Small daily choices compound over time, just like poor habits do. Choosing whole, nutrient-dense foods most of the time gives your body the tools it needs to repair, protect, and thrive. Food also plays a powerful role in mental health and emotional well-being. Diets rich in whole foods, healthy fats, and fiber are associated with lower rates of depression and anxiety. This is partly because your gut and brain are deeply connected through the gut-brain axis. When your gut is inflamed or imbalanced, it can directly affect your mood, energy, and mental clarity. Eating foods that support gut health is one of the most underrated mental health strategies available today. Long-term health is not about chasing trends or quick fixes. It is about understanding how your body works and feeding it accordingly. The foods that support longevity do not promise overnight transformations, but they quietly and consistently protect you from disease, support your energy, and improve your quality of life year after year. When you eat with intention, you are investing in your future self, the version of you that wants to stay active, independent, and mentally sharp as the years pass. As we continue, you will begin to see how specific foods support specific systems in the body, from the heart and brain to the gut and immune system, and how combining these foods into a balanced lifestyle can dramatically change your health trajectory. This is not about restriction, it is about empowerment, because when you understand what truly nourishes your body, every meal becomes an opportunity to heal, protect, and strengthen yourself from the inside out, and that understanding can completely transform the way you approach your health and your life as you move forward and begin to recognize that longevity is built one mindful choice at a time, especially when it comes to the foods you choose to put on your plate every single day. As your journey toward a longer and healthier life truly continues into the deeper layers of nutrition and wellness that most people never take the time to explore, even though they hold the key to sustainable health and vitality for decades to come. As we move deeper into the foods that quietly shape a long and healthy life, it becomes clear that longevity is not driven by one miracle ingredient but by a combination of choices that protect your body systems day after day. One of the most overlooked categories of longevity foods is deeply colored vegetables, especially those rich in natural pigments like carotenoids and polyphenol. Foods such as carrots, sweet potatoes, red peppers, and tomatoes provide compounds that protect vision, strengthen immune defenses, and reduce cellular damage. Carrots and sweet potatoes are rich in beta-carotene, which the body converts into vitamin A, a nutrient essential for immune resilience, skin health, and healthy aging. These foods support the integrity of your tissues and help your body respond more effectively to infections and environmental stressors over time. Tomatoes deserve special attention because they are rich in lycopene, a powerful antioxidant linked to a lower risk of heart disease and certain cancers. Lycopene becomes even more bioavailable when tomatoes are cooked, meaning your body absorbs it more easily from sauces and stews. This highlights an important principle of longevity nutrition: preparation matters. The way you cook and combine foods can increase or decrease the benefits they provide. Cooking vegetables gently, using healthy fats like olive oil, and avoiding excessive heat helps preserve nutrients while making them easier to absorb. Another critical longevity food group is mushrooms. Often underestimated, mushrooms provide unique compounds that support immune function, brain health, and metabolic balance. Varieties such as shiitake, maitake, and oyster mushrooms contain beta-glucans that help regulate immune responses and reduce inflammation. Some mushrooms also support vitamin D intake, especially when exposed to sunlight, which is essential for bone health, immune regulation, and mood stability. Including mushrooms regularly in meals can quietly support your immune system and overall resilience as you age. Eggs, when sourced and prepared properly, can also play a valuable role in a long-term health-focused diet. Eggs provide high-quality protein, healthy fats, and essential nutrients such as choline, which supports brain function and liver health. Choline is particularly important for cognitive health and memory, making eggs a valuable food for mental longevity. Contrary to outdated beliefs, moderate egg consumption does not harm heart health for most people and can be part of a balanced, nutrient-dense diet. Dairy and dairy alternatives deserve thoughtful consideration as well. Fermented dairy products like yogurt and kefir support gut health and provide calcium and protein that support bone density as you age. Bone health becomes increasingly important later in life, as fractures and mobility loss can significantly reduce quality of life. Supporting bone strength through nutrition, including calcium, vitamin D, and protein, is a powerful investment in long-term independence. For those who do not tolerate dairy, fortified plant-based alternatives can provide similar benefits when chosen carefully. Another category that strongly influences longevity is beverages, particularly those that support metabolic and cardiovascular health. Green tea, for example, is rich in catechins, which are antioxidants that help reduce inflammation and improve blood vessel function. Regular green tea consumption has been associated with a lower risk of heart disease and improved metabolic health. Herbal teas such as chamomile and peppermint can support digestion and stress reduction, which indirectly supports long-term health by lowering chronic stress levels. Stress management itself is deeply connected to nutrition. Foods that stabilize blood sugar, provide magnesium, and support neurotransmitter balance can help reduce anxiety and improve emotional resilience. Magnesium-rich foods such as leafy greens, nuts, seeds, and whole grains help relax muscles, support sleep, and regulate stress hormones. Chronic stress accelerates aging by increasing inflammation and hormonal imbalance, so nutrition that supports calm and balance is just as important as nutrition that supports physical strength. Sleep quality is another often overlooked pillar of longevity, and food plays a major role here as well. Diets rich in whole foods and low in ultra-processed ingredients support healthier sleep cycles. Foods that provide tryptophan, such as turkey, eggs, seeds, and legumes, support the production of serotonin and melatonin, hormones that regulate sleep and mood. Poor sleep increases the risk of obesity, diabetes, heart disease, and cognitive decline, making sleep-supportive nutrition an essential longevity strategy. When discussing long-term health, blood sugar regulation cannot be ignored. Consistently high blood sugar damages blood vessels, nerves, and organs, accelerating aging and increasing the risk of chronic disease. Foods that provide fiber, protein, and healthy fats help slow digestion and prevent spikes in blood sugar. This is why whole foods consistently outperform processed foods when it comes to longevity. Replacing refined carbohydrates with whole grains, legumes, and vegetables is one of the most effective ways to protect metabolic health over time. Another powerful longevity principle is variety. Eating a wide range of foods ensures that you receive a broad spectrum of nutrients and plant compounds that work together to protect your body. Different colors often indicate different protective compounds, so a colorful plate is not just visually appealing, it is biologically protective. Each plant contains unique phytochemicals that support different pathways in the body, from detoxification to DNA repair. Social and cultural aspects of eating also influence longevity more than most people realize. In many long-living communities, meals are shared, eaten slowly, and enjoyed in a relaxed environment. This reduces stress hormones, improves digestion, and strengthens social connections, all of which are linked to longer life and better mental health. Eating mindfully, without distraction, allows your body to properly register fullness and improves nutrient absorption. It is also important to acknowledge the role of portion control and timing. Even the healthiest foods can become harmful if eaten in excess or at inappropriate times. Overeating stresses the digestive system, increases inflammation, and accelerates metabolic wear and tear. Many longevity-focused lifestyles emphasize eating until comfortably satisfied, not overly full, and allowing the body time between meals to repair and rebalance. This aligns with emerging research on metabolic health and cellular repair processes that occur during periods of rest. As people age, protein needs may increase slightly to preserve muscle mass and strength. Maintaining muscle is essential for mobility, balance, and metabolic health. Muscle loss accelerates aging and increases the risk of falls and injury. Including adequate protein from high-quality sources such as fish, legumes, eggs, and lean meat supports muscle maintenance and functional independence later in life. Hydration continues to play a crucial role, especially as the sensation of thirst can diminish with age. Consistently drinking water and consuming hydrating food supports kidney function, circulation, and cognitive performance. Dehydration can increase fatigue, confusion, and the risk of infections, making hydration a simple but powerful longevity habit. Modern health solutions also play a role in supporting long-term well-being. Regular checkups, preventive screenings, and access to healthcare professionals, including telehealth appointments, allow early detection and management of potential health issues. Nutrition works best when combined with medical guidance, especially for individuals managing chronic conditions such as diabetes or heart disease. Food can support healing, but informed medical oversight ensures safety and effectiveness. What becomes clear as you examine these foods and habits together is that longevity is not about deprivation. It is about alignment with your body's natural needs. When you consistently choose foods that reduce inflammation, support metabolic balance, and nourish your organs, your body responds with improved energy, resilience, and clarity. These benefits accumulate quietly, often unnoticed in the short term, but they become undeniable over years and decades. As this journey continues, the focus will shift even deeper into how specific foods influence aging at the cellular level, how mindset and lifestyle amplify the benefits of nutrition, and how simple daily habits can dramatically reduce the risk of disease while enhancing vitality. The choices you make today are shaping not only how long you live, but how well you live, and understanding this connection empowers you to take control of your health in a way that few people ever truly do, especially as you begin to recognize that every meal is a message to your body, either signaling stress and damage or signaling safety, nourishment, and long-term strength. A message that continues to echo through your cells long after the plate is empty as the path toward a long and healthy life unfolds even further as the understanding of longevity deepens. It becomes impossible to separate food from the cellular processes that determine how fast or how slowly the body ages. At the most fundamental level, aging is influenced by inflammation, oxidative stress, insulin resistance, and cellular damage, and the foods you eat every day directly affect each of these pathways. Foods that promote a long and healthy life work quietly in the background, protecting your cells, stabilizing your metabolism, and supporting the body's natural repair systems. This is why longevity nutrition is not about extremes, but about steady, supportive nourishment that allows the body to function as it was designed to. One of the most powerful concepts in long-term health is reducing chronic inflammation. Inflammation is a natural response to injury or infection, but when it becomes constant due to poor diet, stress, and lifestyle habits, it accelerates aging and increases the risk of almost every chronic disease. Foods rich in antioxidants and anti-inflammatory compounds help calm this process. Deeply pigmented fruits and vegetables, such as beets, purple cabbage, eggplant, and dark cherries, contain polyphenol that neutralize free radicals and protect cellular structures. These foods help preserve the integrity of blood vessels, reduce joint discomfort, and support overall vitality as the body ages. Beets, in particular, support cardiovascular health by improving blood flow and supporting healthy blood pressure. They contain nitrates that help relax blood vessels, allowing oxygen and nutrients to circulate more efficiently throughout the body. Improved circulation supports physical endurance, brain health, and organ function, all of which are essential for maintaining quality of life over time. Including beets in meals, whether roasted, blended, or juiced in moderation, can be a simple way to support heart and vascular health. Another essential component of longevity-focused eating is supporting the body's natural detoxification systems, especially the liver. The liver works constantly to process toxins, hormones, and metabolic waste, and certain foods enhance this process. Foods like garlic, onions, leeks, and scallions contain sulfur compounds that support liver enzyme activity. Garlic, in particular, has been shown to support immune function, reduce blood pressure, and improve cholesterol balance. Regular consumption of these foods helps the body efficiently remove harmful substances, reducing long-term stress on organs. Citrus fruits also play a valuable role in long-term health. Oranges, lemons, limes, and grapefruits provide vitamin C, which supports immune defense, collagen production, and antioxidant protection. Collagen is essential for skin elasticity, joint health, and tissue repair. As we age, collagen production naturally declines, contributing to wrinkles, joint stiffness, and slower healing. Consuming vitamin C-rich foods help support the body's ability to maintain connective tissue integrity over time. Apples deserve recognition as one of the simplest and most effective longevity foods. Rich in fiber, particularly pectin, apples support gut health, blood sugar regulation, and cholesterol balance. The saying about apples and health exists for a reason. Regular apple consumption has been linked to lower risks of heart disease and improved digestive function. Apples are also easy to include in daily life, making them a practical choice for consistent long-term benefit. Gut health continues to emerge as one of the most critical factors in overall well-being and longevity. A healthy gut microbiome supports immune balance, nutrient absorption, inflammation control, and even mental health. Foods rich in prebiotic fiber, such as onions, garlic, asparagus, bananas, and oats, feed beneficial gut bacteria. These bacteria produce compounds that strengthen the gut lining, reduce inflammation, and support metabolic health. When the gut barrier is strong, fewer harmful substances enter the bloodstream, reducing systemic inflammation and immune overload. Mental clarity and cognitive health are deeply influenced by nutrition as well. The brain is highly sensitive to oxidative stress and inflammation, making nutrient-dense foods essential for long-term cognitive resilience. Foods rich in healthy fats, such as avocados and fatty fish, support brain cell membranes and neurotransmitter function. Avocados provide monounsaturated fats that support blood flow and brain health, as well as potassium, which supports nerve signaling. Including avocados regularly can support focus, memory, and overall mental performance. Dark chocolate, when consumed in moderation and with high cocoa content, can also support long-term health. Cocoa contains flavonoids that support blood vessel function and cognitive health. These compounds improve circulation and may support mood by influencing neurotransmitter activity. While not a staple food, mindful inclusion of high-quality dark chocolate can be part of a balanced, longevity-focused lifestyle. Bone health becomes increasingly important as people age, and nutrition plays a central role in maintaining strong bones. Foods rich in calcium, magnesium, vitamin K, and vitamin D support bone density and reduce fracture risk. Leafy greens such as kale and collard greens provide calcium and vitamin K, which helps direct calcium into bones rather than soft tissues. Vitamin D, obtained from sunlight exposure and certain foods, supports calcium absorption and immune regulation. Together, these nutrients help preserve skeletal strength and mobility over time. Women's wellness deserves particular attention when discussing long-term health. Hormonal changes across the lifespan influence metabolism, bone health, cardiovascular risk, and mental well-being. Foods rich in phytoestrogens, such as flax seeds and soy in whole food forms, may support hormonal balance during certain life stages. Adequate iron intake from foods like lentils, spinach, and lean meat supports energy levels and prevents fatigue. Supporting women's nutritional needs throughout life is essential for long-term vitality and disease prevention. Men's health also benefits from targeted nutritional support. Foods rich in zinc, such as pumpkin seeds and legumes, support immune function and hormone balance. Lycopene-rich foods like tomatoes support prostate health. Balanced nutrition supports cardiovascular health, muscle maintenance, and metabolic stability, all of which influence longevity in men. The role of mindset cannot be separated from physical health. The way you think about food, health, and aging influences your habits and outcomes. Viewing food as nourishment rather than restriction fosters a healthier relationship with eating and supports long-term consistency. Stress-driven eating and extreme dieting patterns increase inflammation and metabolic stress, undermining longevity goals. A calm, balanced approach to nutrition supports both physical and emotional well-being. Physical activity amplifies the benefits of a healthy diet. Foods that support energy production, muscle recovery, and joint health make movement more sustainable and enjoyable. Regular movement improves insulin sensitivity, cardiovascular health, and mental clarity. Nutrition and movement work together to preserve functional independence. One of the most important aspects of aging well. Preventive health strategies extend beyond food but are strongly supported by nutrition. Regular health checkups, blood tests, and consultations with healthcare professionals help identify potential issues early. Telehealth services make access to care more convenient, allowing individuals to address concerns before they become serious. Nutrition provides the foundation, while medical guidance ensures personalized and safe implementation, especially for individuals managing chronic conditions. What emerges from all of this is a powerful truth: long and healthy lives are built through daily choices that seem small in isolation but become transformative over time. The foods you choose consistently shape your internal environment, influencing how your body responds to stress, repairs damage, and maintains balance. These choices are not about perfection, but about direction. Moving steadily toward whole, nourishing foods shifts the trajectory of health in a measurable and meaningful way. As this exploration continues, attention will turn toward how lifestyle habits such as timing of meals, mindful eating, and long-term consistency enhance the impact of these foods, and how combining nutrition with emotional balance, purpose, and social connection creates a foundation for not just a longer life, but a richer and more fulfilling one. as the understanding of longevity expands beyond individual foods and into the patterns that quietly shape health across an entire lifetime, patterns that continue to unfold as we move forward into the deeper dimensions of sustained well-being and vitality. As the focus expands from individual nutrients to long-term patterns, it becomes clear that longevity is deeply influenced by how food interacts with daily habits, emotional states, and the rhythm of life itself. The body thrives on consistency and balance, and the foods that support a long and healthy life work best when they are part of a lifestyle that respects rest, movement, and mindful living. Nutrition is not isolated from the way you sleep, manage stress, or connect with others. Each of these elements reinforces the impact of what you eat, shaping how efficiently your body repairs itself and adapts over time. One of the most powerful yet underestimated longevity strategies is maintaining metabolic flexibility, the body's ability to efficiently use different fuel sources without excessive stress. Diets rich in whole foods, fiber, and healthy fats support this flexibility by preventing extreme blood sugar swings and insulin overload. When blood sugar remains stable, the body experiences less oxidative stress, and energy levels remain more consistent throughout the day. This stability supports mental clarity, reduces cravings, and lowers the risk of metabolic diseases that shorten lifespan. The timing of meals also plays a subtle but important role in long-term health. Allowing the body periods of rest between meals gives digestive and metabolic systems time to reset and repair. This does not require extreme fasting, but rather an awareness of constant snacking and late-night eating, which can disrupt circadian rhythms and hormonal balance. When digestion aligns with the body's natural clock, sleep quality improves, inflammation decreases, and metabolic efficiency increases over time. Mindful eating further enhances the benefits of healthy foods. Eating slowly, paying attention to hunger and fullness cues, and appreciating the sensory experience of meals helps regulate portion sizes and supports digestion. Stressful or distracted eating can impair nutrient absorption and increase digestive discomfort. Creating a calm eating environment allows the nervous system to shift into a state that supports optimal digestion and assimilation of nutrients. Longevity is also shaped by how food supports emotional resilience. Certain nutrients influence neurotransmitters that regulate mood, motivation, and emotional stability. Omega-3 fatty acids, magnesium, B vitamins, and amino acids play roles in maintaining balanced brain chemistry. Diets that consistently provide these nutrients are associated with lower rates of depression and anxiety. Emotional well-being, in turn, influences immune function, inflammation, and lifestyle habits, creating a feedback loop that either supports or undermines long-term health. Social connection and shared meals have been repeatedly linked to longer life expectancy. Eating together fosters emotional support, reduces stress, and encourages healthier eating patterns. In communities known for longevity, meals are often social rituals rather than rushed tasks. This social aspect of eating contributes to psychological well-being, which directly impacts physical health through hormonal and immune pathways. Spiritual wellness, while deeply personal, also intersects with nutrition and longevity. A sense of purpose and meaning has been associated with lower stress levels, healthier lifestyle choices, and improved immune function. When individuals feel connected to something larger than themselves, they are more likely to care for their bodies and make choices that support long-term well-being. Food becomes part of a broader commitment to self-care and respect for life. As people age, maintaining muscle mass and functional strength becomes increasingly important. Sarcopenia, or age-related muscle loss, is a major contributor to frailty and loss of independence. Adequate protein intake, combined with regular resistance and movement-based activities, helps preserve muscle tissue. Protein-rich foods that are easily digestible and nutrient-dense support muscle repair and metabolic health, reducing the risk of falls and injuries later in life. Joint health is another key factor in maintaining mobility and quality of life. Foods that reduce inflammation and support connective tissue health help preserve joint function. Omega-3 fatty acids, vitamin C, and collagen-supporting nutrients play roles in maintaining joint integrity. Chronic inflammation accelerates joint degeneration, making anti-inflammatory nutrition a long-term investment in mobility and independence. immune health becomes increasingly important with age, as immune function naturally declines over time. Nutrition that supports immune resilience helps reduce the frequency and severity of infections. Foods rich in zinc, selenium, vitamin C, and vitamin D support immune cell function and regulation. A balanced immune response protects against both infections and excessive inflammation, which can damage tissues over time. Cognitive resilience is another pillar of longevity. Neurodegenerative conditions are influenced by inflammation, oxidative stress, and metabolic health. Diets that support cardiovascular health also support brain health by ensuring adequate blood flow and nutrient delivery. Foods that protect blood vessels and reduce oxidative stress help preserve memory, attention, and processing speed as the brain ages. Hydration continues to be a foundational but often overlooked element of long-term health. Adequate fluid intake supports circulation, temperature regulation, digestion, and cognitive function. Mild dehydration can impair concentration, increase fatigue, and stress the kidneys. Making hydration a consistent habit supports multiple systems simultaneously, reinforcing the benefits of a nutrient-dense diet. Environmental factors also influence longevity, and nutrition can help mitigate some of these effects. Antioxidant-rich foods help protect the body from environmental pollutants and toxins that contribute to oxidative stress. Supporting the body's natural detoxification pathways through nutrient-rich foods reduces the burden of these exposures over time. Preventive care and self-awareness remain essential components of a long and healthy life. Regular monitoring of blood pressure, blood sugar, cholesterol, and other health markers allows for early intervention. Nutrition provides the foundation for prevention, while medical guidance ensures that individual needs are addressed appropriately. Telehealth services increase accessibility, making preventive care more achievable for many people. What becomes increasingly evident is that longevity is not defined by isolated actions, but by integrated patterns that align with the body's natural needs. Food, movement, rest, emotional balance, and social connection work together to create an internal environment that supports repair, resilience, and vitality. When these elements are aligned, the body is better equipped to adapt to stress and maintain function over time. As this journey continues, the focus will deepen into how sustainable habits are formed, how small daily choices accumulate into powerful long-term outcomes, and how the integration of nutrition with purpose and self-awareness creates a life that is not only longer, but more vibrant and fulfilling. As the path toward lasting health and well-being continues to unfold through the quiet, consistent practices that define true longevity and shape the quality of life across every stage of aging, leading seamlessly into the final exploration of how to bring all these elements together into a practical and lasting approach to health that truly stands the test of time. As everything comes together, the final understanding of a long and healthy life becomes remarkably clear. Longevity is not created by dramatic changes made once in a while, but by simple, repeatable choices made every single day. The foods you eat consistently shape the internal environment of your body, influencing how efficiently your cells produce energy, how well your organs communicate, and how resilient you remain in the face of stress, illness, and aging. This is not about chasing perfection or eliminating enjoyment, but about building a sustainable way of eating that supports you for decades, not just weeks or months. One of the most powerful shifts people can make is moving away from ultra-processed foods and toward foods that resemble their natural form. Ultra-processed foods are engineered for convenience and pleasure, but they often disrupt appetite regulation, overload the body with inflammatory compounds, and strain metabolic systems. Over time, this constant strain accelerates aging and increases disease risk. Whole foods, on the other hand, provide signals of safety and nourishment to the body. They deliver fiber, micronutrients, and bioactive compounds that guide metabolism toward balance and repair rather than damage. Another key principle of longevity nutrition is adaptability. Life changes, schedules shift, and health needs evolve with age. A sustainable approach to eating allows flexibility without losing its foundation. This means focusing on principles rather than rigid rules. Prioritizing vegetables, fruits, high-quality proteins, healthy fats, and fiber-rich carbohydrates creates a framework that can adapt to different cultures, preferences, and life stages. This flexibility is essential for long-term adherence, which ultimately determines outcomes. Emotional health plays a deeper role in longevity than most people realize. Chronic emotional stress affects hormone levels, immune function, and inflammation, accelerating biological aging. Food choices can either amplify or ease this stress. Diets rich in stable energy sources, essential nutrients, and anti-inflammatory compounds help regulate stress hormones and support emotional balance. When emotional well-being improves, people are more likely to engage in healthy behaviors, creating a positive cycle that supports long-term health. Purpose and motivation also influence how well people care for their bodies. When individuals connect their health goals to meaningful reasons, such as staying active for family, maintaining independence, or pursuing passions later in life, they are more likely to maintain healthy habits. Food then becomes fuel for living fully, not just a means of avoiding disease. This mindset shift transforms nutrition from a chore into a form of self-respect and self-investment. The role of routine cannot be overstated. Regular meal patterns, consistent grocery choices, and simple cooking habits reduce decision fatigue and increase the likelihood of healthy eating. Preparing meals at home more often allows greater control over ingredients and portion sizes. Even basic cooking skills can significantly improve diet quality and health outcomes over time. Longevity is supported by systems that make healthy choices easier and more automatic. As people grow older, digestive efficiency can change, making nutrient absorption more challenging. Paying attention to food quality becomes even more important. Foods that are easier to digest, rich in nutrients, and supportive of gut health help maintain strength and vitality. Chewing food thoroughly, eating in a relaxed environment, and avoiding excessive intake of irritants all support digestive health, which in turn affects immunity and energy levels. Cardiovascular health remains one of the most critical determinants of lifespan. The heart and blood vessels respond strongly to dietary patterns. Diets rich in fiber, healthy fats, antioxidants, and low in excessive sodium and added sugar support healthy blood pressure, cholesterol balance, and vascular function. Protecting the cardiovascular system protects every organ it supplies, including the brain, kidneys, and muscles. Metabolic health continues to influence nearly every aspect of aging. Insulin sensitivity, fat distribution, and energy regulation are shaped by long-term dietary habits. Supporting metabolic health through balanced meals, regular movement, and stress management reduces the risk of diabetes, fatty liver disease, and cardiovascular complications. These conditions often develop silently, making preventive nutrition especially valuable. Inflammation, when controlled, becomes a protective mechanism rather than a destructive force. Foods rich in omega-3s, polyphenol, and antioxidants help regulate inflammatory responses. Chronic inflammation accelerates tissue damage and aging, while balanced inflammation supports healing and immune defense. Nutrition plays a central role in maintaining this balance across the lifespan. Cognitive health and memory preservation are deeply tied to long-term lifestyle choices. Diets that support vascular health, reduce oxidative stress, and provide essential fats help preserve brain structure and function. Cognitive decline is not an inevitable part of aging, and nutrition remains one of the most accessible tools for supporting lifelong mental clarity and independence. Sleep quality continues to amplify or undermine all other health efforts. Nutrient-dense diets support hormonal rhythms that regulate sleep and wake cycles. Adequate sleep enhances immune function, metabolic balance, emotional regulation, and cognitive performance. Over time, consistent sleep and nutrition patterns reinforce each other, creating a foundation for resilience and recovery. Modern healthcare, when used proactively, complements healthy eating. Preventive screenings, lab monitoring, and access to healthcare professionals allow for early detection and personalized guidance. Telehealth has made it easier than ever to stay connected to medical support, especially for managing chronic conditions. Nutrition and medical care together create a comprehensive approach to longevity that addresses both prevention and intervention. Perhaps the most important realization is that it is never too early or too late to improve health through food. The body has an extraordinary capacity to adapt and heal when given consistent support. Improvements in energy, digestion, mood, and metabolic markers can occur at any age when healthier patterns are adopted. Longevity is not reserved for those who start young, but for those who commit consistently. Every meal is an opportunity to send a message to your body. Over time, those messages accumulate into either resilience or vulnerability. Choosing foods that nourish rather than inflame, that stabilize rather than disrupt, and that support rather than stress creates an internal environment where health can flourish naturally. This is the essence of a long and healthy life, not defined by restriction or fear, but by informed, compassionate choices that honor the body's needs. As this long journey through the foods that support longevity reaches its final phase, what remains is not a checklist, but a mindset. A mindset that values nourishment, balance, and sustainability. A mindset that understands health as a lifelong relationship rather than a short-term goal. When this mindset guides daily choices, longevity becomes a natural outcome rather than a distant hope, and the pursuit of health transforms into a deeply rewarding way of living that continues to evolve, strengthen, and support you through every stage of life, long after trends fade and shortcuts fail. As the commitment to true well-being carries forward into the years ahead, when the conversation around long and healthy living reaches this depth, it becomes clear that food is not simply fuel. It is information. Every nutrient you consume sends instructions to your cells, influencing how genes are expressed, how inflammation is regulated, and how efficiently repair processes take place. This concept, often described in lifestyle medicine, explains why populations that consistently eat whole, nutrient-dense foods experience lower rates of chronic disease and remain active well into old age. Their bodies are constantly receiving signals of nourishment rather than danger, stability rather than stress. One of the most important yet underestimated factors in longevity is consistency over intensity. Many people focus on short bursts of extreme dieting or sudden lifestyle overhauls, but the body responds far better to steady, sustainable patterns. Eating nourishing foods most of the time creates an internal environment where healing becomes the default state. Over months and years, this consistency compounds into measurable benefits such as healthier arteries, stronger bones, improved insulin sensitivity, and preserved cognitive function. Another critical aspect of long-term health is understanding hunger and satiety. Highly processed foods disrupt natural appetite signals, leading to overeating and metabolic strain. Whole foods, rich in fiber, protein, and healthy fats, work with your biology to signal fullness and satisfaction. This natural regulation protects against weight gain and metabolic disease without the need for constant restriction. Maintaining a healthy body weight through balanced eating significantly reduces the risk of heart disease, diabetes, joint problems, and certain cancers. Digestive health continues to influence nearly every system in the body. A well-functioning digestive system ensures efficient nutrient absorption and effective elimination of waste. Over time, poor digestion contributes to fatigue, inflammation, and immune dysfunction. Foods that support gut lining integrity, such as those rich in fiber, fermented products, and anti-inflammatory compounds, help maintain digestive resilience. When digestion improves, energy levels rise, immunity strengthens, and mental clarity often follows. The relationship between food and hormones also plays a powerful role in aging. Hormones regulate metabolism, appetite, sleep, mood, and reproductive health. Diets that are chronically high in sugar and refined carbohydrates disrupt hormonal balance, increasing the risk of insulin resistance and hormonal disorders. Balanced meals that include protein, fiber, and healthy fats support more stable hormone signaling. This stability becomes increasingly important with age, especially during life stages involving hormonal shifts. Inflammation remains one of the strongest predictors of biological aging. While acute inflammation is necessary for healing, chronic low-grade inflammation accelerates tissue damage. Foods rich in antioxidants, omega-3 fatty acids, and phytonutrients help regulate inflammatory responses. Over time, reducing inflammatory load protects joints, blood vessels, and organs, allowing the body to maintain function and mobility. Physical strength and endurance are deeply influenced by nutrition. Adequate intake of protein, minerals, and energy supports muscle maintenance and recovery. Muscle tissue is not only important for movement but also plays a role in glucose regulation and metabolic health. Preserving muscle mass helps maintain balance, reduce injury risk, and support independence later in life. Nutrition and movement together form a protective shield against frailty. Hydration, though simple, remains essential. Water supports circulation, digestion, temperature regulation, and cognitive function. Mild dehydration often goes unnoticed but can impair performance and increase fatigue. Making hydration a consistent habit supports overall physiological balance and enhances the benefits of healthy eating. Mental and emotional well-being remain inseparable from physical health. Diets that support stable energy and nutrient sufficiency reduce mood swings and emotional fatigue. Nutrient deficiencies and blood sugar fluctuations can worsen anxiety and irritability. Supporting mental health through nutrition enhances resilience and improves quality of life, reinforcing the motivation to maintain healthy habits. Social and cultural contexts continue to shape eating patterns. Preparing meals at home, sharing food with others, and honoring traditional whole food-based cuisines often support healthier outcomes than convenience-driven eating. These practices encourage slower eating, greater awareness, and emotional satisfaction, all of which support long-term well-being. Preventive healthcare remains a powerful ally to nutrition. Monitoring key health indicators allows early intervention before disease progresses. Combining informed dietary choices with professional medical guidance creates a comprehensive approach to longevity. Telehealth options make it easier to stay connected to healthcare support, ensuring continuity and accessibility. Perhaps the most empowering truth about long-term health is that improvement is always possible. The body continually adapts to better inputs. Even small changes, when sustained, lead to meaningful improvements. Replacing a single processed meal with a whole food alternative, adding more vegetables to daily intake, or improving hydration habits can initiate positive changes that build over time. Longevity is not about eliminating pleasure or living in fear of illness. It is about aligning daily choices with the body's natural design. Food becomes a source of strength, enjoyment, and resilience when chosen with intention. Over time, this alignment reduces dependence on medications, increases vitality, and preserves independence. As the understanding of long and healthy living deepens, what remains is a clear invitation rather than a rigid prescription. An invitation to nourish the body consistently, move with purpose, rest adequately, manage stress with awareness, and seek connection and meaning. These elements work together to create a life that is not only longer, but richer in energy, clarity, and fulfillment. This journey through the foods that support longevity ultimately leads to a simple realization: health is built quietly, in kitchens and daily routines, through choices that respect the body's needs. When those choices are repeated with patience and commitment, they shape a future defined not by decline, but by sustained vitality and strength. That future begins not someday, but with the next meal, the next habit, and the continued dedication to living in a way that supports the fullest expression of health across every chapter of life. At this stage, the most powerful message to carry forward is that long-term health is not a mystery reserved for experts or elite groups. It is accessible, practical, and deeply human. The foods that support a long and healthy life are not meant to complicate your routine, but to simplify it by bringing your body back into balance. When nutrition aligns with the body's natural rhythms, many problems that seem unrelated begin to improve together. Energy stabilizes, digestion becomes smoother, sleep deepens, mood becomes more resilient, and the body gradually shifts from a state of constant repair to one of steady maintenance. One of the reasons nutrition has such a profound impact on longevity is because it influences the smallest units of life, your cells. Cells require a constant supply of nutrients to repair DNA, maintain membranes, and produce energy. When these needs are met consistently, cellular aging slows down. When they are neglected, damage accumulates faster than the body can repair it. This is why long-term dietary patterns matter far more than occasional healthy meals. Longevity is written into the daily rhythm of nourishment. Another often overlooked aspect of healthy aging is digestive efficiency as time passes. The body becomes less tolerant of highly processed foods, excessive sugar, and artificial additives. Choosing simpler, whole foods becomes not just beneficial, but necessary for comfort and vitality. People who age well often report fewer digestive issues because their diets support gut health rather than overwhelm it. A healthy gut reduces inflammation, improves immunity, and supports mental clarity, making it a central pillar of longevity. The relationship between nutrition and immunity becomes increasingly important with age. As immune responses naturally change, the body relies more heavily on nutritional support to maintain defense and regulation. Diets rich in vitamins, minerals, antioxidants, and healthy fats help immune cells function efficiently without becoming overactive. Balanced immunity protects against infections while reducing the risk of chronic inflammatory conditions that accelerate aging. Longevity is also shaped by how food supports circulation. Healthy blood vessels ensure that oxygen and nutrients reach every tissue efficiently. Diets rich in fiber, antioxidants, and healthy fats help maintain flexible, resilient arteries. Poor circulation contributes to fatigue, cognitive decline, and organ dysfunction. Supporting vascular health through nutrition protects not only the heart, but the entire body. The psychological dimension of eating also deserves attention. Food is often tied to comfort, memory, and emotion. A healthy relationship with food supports emotional well-being rather than guilt or anxiety. Longevity-focused eating allows room for enjoyment while prioritizing nourishment. This balanced approach reduces stress, which itself is a major driver of aging and disease. Another critical factor in long-term health is adaptability during life transitions. Work stress, family responsibilities, aging, and health changes all affect eating patterns. A strong nutritional foundation allows flexibility without collapse. When core habits are built around whole foods and balance, temporary disruptions are easier to recover from. This resilience is essential for sustaining health across decades. The importance of self-awareness grows with time. Listening to how your body responds to foods, stress, and routines allows for informed adjustments. Longevity is not a fixed formula, but an ongoing conversation with your body. Paying attention to energy levels, digestion, mood, and sleep provides valuable feedback that guides healthier choices. Healthcare support remains a valuable partner in this journey. Nutrition works best alongside regular medical check-ins, personalized advice, and preventive screenings. Telehealth services have made this support more accessible, allowing people to stay proactive rather than reactive. When nutrition and healthcare work together, they create a safety net that supports long-term well-being. What ultimately defines a long and healthy life is not the absence of challenges, but the capacity to recover and adapt. Food plays a central role in this capacity by supplying the raw materials for repair and resilience. Over time, a body that is consistently nourished responds more effectively to stress, illness, and change. Perhaps the most empowering realization is that health is not something to achieve once and then forget. It is a living process that evolves with you. Each phase of life brings new needs and opportunities for care. Nutrition provides a steady anchor through these changes, offering continuity and support as the body adapts. As this exploration continues beyond words, what remains is an invitation to act with intention. To choose foods that nourish rather than deplete. To build habits that support energy rather than exhaust it. To view health as a lifelong relationship built on respect, patience, and consistency. The promise of a long and healthy life is not found in extremes or shortcuts, but in the quiet power of daily choices repeated over time. When those choices are guided by understanding and care, they shape a future marked not by limitation, but by strength, clarity, and vitality. And that future begins, again and again, with the simple act of choosing what you place on your plate, knowing that each choice is an investment in the years ahead and the quality of life you will carry with you through them. When you step back and look at the full picture of a long and healthy life, it becomes clear that nutrition is not a single chapter, but the thread that runs through every stage of aging. From early adulthood to later years, the body continuously responds to the quality of nourishment it receives. Cells renew, tissues adapt, and systems recalibrate based on the inputs they are given. This is why people who maintain health into old age often describe feeling supported by their bodies rather than burdened by them. Their internal systems are not constantly fighting imbalance, because for years they have been given what they need to function smoothly. One of the quiet advantages of longevity-focused eating is reduced biological stress. When the body is repeatedly exposed to excess sugar, unhealthy fats, and artificial additives, it remains in a state of low-grade alarm. Hormones fluctuate, inflammation rises, and repair mechanisms are diverted toward damage control rather than optimization. Whole foods calm this internal stress response. Over time, this calm translates into steadier energy, clearer thinking, and greater emotional balance. Aging then becomes a gradual transition rather than a sudden decline. Another essential component of long-term health is nutrient density. As calorie needs may decrease with age, nutrient needs often remain the same or even increase. Foods that deliver vitamins, minerals, and protective compounds without excessive empty calories become especially valuable. This is why vegetables, fruits, legumes, whole grains, nuts, seeds, and high-quality proteins form the foundation of longevity nutrition. They provide maximum benefit with minimal metabolic burden. The role of food in preserving independence cannot be overstated. Strength, balance, vision, cognition, and mobility are all influenced by nutrition. Adequate intake of protein supports muscle strength, antioxidants protect vision and brain function, and minerals support bone density and nerve signaling. Preserving these functions allows individuals to remain active, engaged, and self-sufficient, which strongly correlates with quality of life in later years. Inflammation management remains central to healthy aging. Joints, blood vessels, and organs all suffer when inflammation remains unchecked. Foods that reduce inflammatory signaling help maintain flexibility, circulation, and organ health. Over decades, this protection significantly lowers the risk of arthritis, cardiovascular disease, and neurodegenerative conditions. Another often underappreciated benefit of healthy eating is improved recovery. Whether recovering from illness, injury, or emotional stress, the body relies on nutrients to rebuild and rebalance. Diets rich in whole foods shorten recovery times and reduce complications. This resilience becomes increasingly valuable with age. As recovery capacity naturally slows, mental health continues to be a defining factor in longevity. Isolation, depression, and chronic stress shorten lifespan as surely as physical illness. Nutrition supports mental health by stabilizing blood sugar, providing essential brain nutrients, and supporting the gut-brain connection. When mental well-being improves, motivation to maintain healthy habits increases, reinforcing positive patterns. The simplicity of longevity nutrition is also one of its greatest strengths. It does not require perfection, constant tracking, or obsession. It requires awareness, intention, and repetition. Choosing nourishing foods most of the time creates a buffer against occasional indulgence. This balance supports sustainability, which is the true driver of long-term success. As life becomes busier or more complex, systems matter more than motivation. Stocking nourishing foods, learning a few reliable meals, and maintaining simple routines reduce reliance on willpower. These systems quietly protect health even during stressful periods, ensuring continuity rather than disruption. Healthcare and nutrition together form a powerful partnership. Regular checkups, screenings, and professional guidance ensure that dietary choices align with individual needs. Telehealth services make ongoing support more accessible, allowing timely adjustments and early intervention. This proactive approach prevents small issues from becoming major obstacles. Ultimately, a long and healthy life is not defined by avoiding death, but by preserving life's quality. The ability to move freely, think clearly, connect deeply, and enjoy daily experiences is shaped by years of accumulated choices. Nutrition is one of the few factors that influences all of these dimensions simultaneously. As this exploration continues, the message becomes increasingly clear and increasingly hopeful. Health is not fragile when supported consistently. The body is remarkably adaptable and forgiving when given time and care. Even imperfect efforts, when sustained, produce meaningful change. The path forward is not about doing everything at once, but about continuing. Continuing to choose foods that nourish. Continuing to listen to the body. Continuing to prioritize well-being even when life is demanding. These continuations define longevity more than any single decision, and so the journey toward a long and healthy life moves forward not with urgency or fear, but with confidence and clarity. Each day offers another opportunity to support the body that carries you through life. Each meal offers another chance to invest in strength, resilience, and vitality. And with each consistent choice, the future gradually reshapes itself into one marked by sustained health, independence, and fulfillment, a future that continues to unfold with every mindful step you take on this lifelong path. As this journey reaches its natural conclusion, what remains is not a list to memorize or rules to fear, but a deep understanding of how powerful and forgiving the human body truly is when it is consistently supported. A long and healthy life is not created by chasing perfection, but by honoring the body with nourishment, patience, and awareness over time. The foods you choose daily quietly shape your future, influencing how you age, how you feel, and how fully you are able to live. The truth is that longevity is built in ordinary moments. It is built when you choose a nourishing meal instead of a convenient one, when you hydrate instead of ignoring thirst, when you rest instead of pushing through exhaustion, and when you return to healthy habits after inevitable setbacks. These moments may seem small, but they accumulate into a powerful force that protects your health across decades. Food becomes more than sustenance when you understand its role. It becomes protection for your heart, fuel for your brain, support for your immune system, and balance for your emotions. It becomes a tool for prevention, reducing the likelihood of chronic illness before it ever takes hold. It becomes a source of stability in a world that often feels overwhelming and fast-paced. A long and healthy life is not about avoiding aging, but about aging well. It is about maintaining strength, clarity, mobility, and independence for as long as possible. It is about being present in your life, not limited by constant fatigue, pain, or preventable illness. Nutrition is one of the few factors that directly supports all of these outcomes at once. There will never be a perfect time to start caring for your health more intentionally. The best time is always now, with the next choice you make. The body responds remarkably quickly to better inputs, and over time, those responses become lasting improvements. No effort is wasted when it comes to nourishing yourself. As you move forward, let food be an ally rather than a source of confusion or stress. Let it support your energy instead of draining it. Let it strengthen your future instead of quietly undermining it. When nourishment becomes a form of self-respect, health stops feeling like a struggle and starts feeling like a natural extension of how you live. The promise of a long and healthy life is not hidden or unreachable. It is built into the everyday choices available to you. With consistency, balance, and understanding, those choices shape a life marked by vitality, resilience, and purpose. And that is the true goal, not simply to live longer, but to live better, with strength in your body, clarity in your mind, and the ability to fully experience the years ahead with confidence and well-being.